Isn't it true, Lou, that the really powerful voice is not so much the unions or the Chamber of Commerce, but the parents of the people, the voice of the retarded? They're the ones that have flooded the legislature with letters and have a firm belief, a sincere belief, that their kids belong in institutions and do better in institutions.
What's happening is we're seeing an aging out population. I mean, they're getting older, the people in institutions. I mean, we have this public law 94-142 that we give kids services and education. We have in-home family support systems. We have anybody you can find in an institution, we can find somebody that's more disabled in a community. People used to believe that, well, the really disabled are going to have to go to an institution. That's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. So because of a whole lot of demonstrations, a whole lot of efforts by a whole lot of people, most people in the world now know that you don't really need, technologically or economically, you don't need institutions, right? Now, but you still have these people in there. You still have, we used to have about 350,000 people in the mid-60s after the Kennedy money came in, and then we started chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. Now, the latest figures are a little bit lower than 100,000. We're a country of 240 million people, and we have 100,000 people in institutions for people who are retarded. Now, that is an statistically, numerically insignificant thing. Now, the plus we have in my state, my institution in Madison, it costs $47,500. In your state, it costs about $55,000, $60,000 a year to keep a person in there. And people are starting to say now, that's a lot of money. That's a heck of a lot of money per person, per year, per life, because you don't get any better in these places. In fact, you get worse. And so we're saying, well, the people who want their kids in institution they're not people of younger kids. They don't really have the option. Most states, not all states, but most states have admission policies against that. And most people say, well, we're going to get people out, let's get the youngest kids out first. And that's part of the political compromise process, too. And so you have these groups of people across the country, and they're concerned about what's going to happen to their children when they die. And they're the legitimate concerns. I mean, I certainly understand. I mean, I recognize that they're legitimate concerns. And so they're fighting like heck to keep their kids in institutions. And I'm sorry about that, but I think they're wrong. I mean, I want them to be happy. I know that their kid's been there for 30 years, and they want to be able to die and have them there. And I understand that. I'm sorry about that, but I think it's wrong. Seems to me if you had your kid in an institution ward for 30 years, before you die, you want to have them see sunset, and float down the river, cross the street, ride a bus, and go to a concert, and play in a park, and catch a cold, and, you know. I mean, that's my view of it. It's not, they've been there for so long, let them die there. It's they've been there long enough, let them live someplace else for a while. Now, I'm not interested. You know, the problem is when people get emotional, they start talking in dichotomies. It's either an institution ward or getting raped on a back street off Times Square. I mean, they don't think that. I mean, they don't say, well, no, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what you're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about dumping people. I'm talking about coming up with an individualized rehabilitation plan for that person. Live in a decent place. Get a good day, get services during the day. I mean, have a chance to experience the community. That's what we're talking about. So I try not to use the word understand. I don't want to use the word understand because they're not my kids. I don't understand. It's hard to use that word. But I recognize that there are, some of the terrible conflicts, the boxes these people are in. But and also my saying is that I want, golly, think if you were those people, wouldn't you want to just do something gracious, something colorful, something a little warm and sensitive, decent, compassionate, just before you go? That's what I want for.